All right, welcome to part 2 of peritoneal dialysis prep for Caspian. Part 1, we walked through how to prime the machine. Part 2, we're going to walk through how to connect him. Now, we connect him after he goes to sleep, which makes videoing this very difficult. So I'm not actually going to connect him, but I'm going to walk you through all the steps, the different parts, his connector here, the connection on the machine, what you'll need to do, how you'll need to do it. I'm going to walk you through all of that so that you can do it, or you can reference this video if you're babysitting Caspian or whatever. So first things first, you want to get your stuff prepared. He's going to be asleep. That's wonderful. Hopefully he won't get in the way that way. Although he is an active sleeper, I will warn you. So yeah, that's the sponge we use, buddy. First things first, you're going to want to get your Alcavis, okay? Alcavis, it comes with this handy little cap, and it's got measuring lines on it. And you can see there's ticks every 5 milliliters, okay? And 10 is labeled. You're going to want to fill it up to 10. So you'll pour it directly into the cap up to 10, okay? Then you would set your Alcavis off to the side. Take this sponge that Caspian has in his hands. You would soak up into the sponge all of that Alcavis. Obviously, before you start, you're going to want to sanitize your hands again with hand sanitizer. Then you would remove the wet sponge. You set your cap off to the side, and you would take his connector. Okay, this is what connects him to the machine. Very, very important that this is clean. This is the reason we're using the Alcavis. The Alcavis is a heavy-duty sanitizer. No, don't play with that, buddy. So you'll take your Alcavis sponge, your wet one, you'll open it back up to the square, and if you can kind of see beyond his hand, you'll wrap it around his connector, like so. Like I said, he's normally asleep when we do this, so it makes this a lot easier. And then you'll just hold right here at this tube, and you'll scrub it. You'll just kind of scrub back and forth. You'll twist it, and you'll scrub this for 60 seconds, for a whole minute. And then you'll make sure it's good and wrapped around it, and then you'll hold it for another 60 seconds. So you've got 2 full minutes of sanitizing his connector, okay? 2 full minutes of this. And then when the 2 minutes are up, when you've held it, you scrubbed it for 60 seconds, then you've held it for 60 seconds, you'll take your sponge and your very clean hands, right? Your very thoroughly clean hands, and you'll slide this sponge down to kind of give yourself a handle, okay? Because you're going to be removing the cap. Now this is very important to keep clean. So when you remove the cap, you'll hold your breath, just like when you connected the bag on the machine, you'll hold your breath. Again, one smooth motion. The machine connector, it's the far left hose on the machine. This is the part that connects to the patient. This is the patient line. It's the longest line. So you will hold this in your hand and this in the other hand. You'll loop this through your finger. Not actually going to do it, but in one smooth motion, you would remove the cap. You would remove this cap with your other hand, and then you'd screw it together. One smooth motion, holding your breath, just like we did with the bag on the machine. Once it's connected, there's the twist cap. It's the back side of his connector. It's below the blue piece. It's the white piece below the blue piece. You would unscrew that, and that opens the connection to his body. You would unscrew it, and it would open the connection to his body. Okay, so then he is fully connected. And the next step, I will grab the camera here. Say hi, buddy. Next step, I'll show you the machine. See how it says check patient line, connect yourself. He is connected. At that point, you would hit the green button, and it'll come up with another message, verify initial drain. You'll hit the green button again, and it'll move into the initial drain, and dialysis has begun. And that is how you connect Caspian for dialysis. To disconnect him, we'll do this in the same video. To disconnect him, you would get your mini cap. Let me just grab one. They come in these little pouches. You want to keep it sealed, but you'll want it on hand to disconnect him. You'll repeat the process with the Alcavis. fill it back up to the 10, grab a clean sponge, soak up the fluid, remove it, unfold it. At this point, he's still connected to the machine. You would scrub for 1 minute straight. Well, first you would close the cap, okay? It's just reverse of everything we did. So you would close the twist cap to make sure that it's close to his body before you do anything. Then you would wrap it in the sponge. Scrub for 1 minute, hold for 1 minute. Hi, yeah, can I have that? Then you would open this, and inside is one of these little caps. It's got an iodine sponge in the end. Look in the end, make sure that red iodine sponge is in there. Disconnect him. Again, one fluid motion. Unscrew him, have the cap in your hand, screw the cap on, and he's disconnected from dialysis. Hopefully, I can make a video actually showing this process and maybe stitch it into this one, but it's really difficult to show this in the dark and record it. But that is the steps that you walk through to connect him and disconnect him from the peritoneal dialysis machine.